I do think that, you know, this notion that the chiefs of staff are critically important and that they are going to get more important and that they should be seen as the pinnacle to a career. Again, like, for example, I met with somebody who was a chief of staff at a bank. And the reality is, yes, there are lots of chiefs of staff in banks. But you want roles that are more complex, that are higher, that are bigger, that cover more territory, right? And I do hear this from a lot of people. I don't really have anywhere to go. Well, guess what? Number one, you absolutely do, because you can always leave, right? That's one of the things that you can do and become a chief of staff elsewhere at a bigger organization with more complex and difficult issues to sort of navigate and deal with. But also you can get a bigger remit within the organization in which you're working, right? And I think that that's critically important to understand, is that you don't have to be in charge of a vertical in order to have more influence, more authority, more power. And the reality is the chief of staff is so uniquely situated that you can really get involved in a lot of different things, right? It doesn't have to spell it out in the job description. And so part of the challenge around the chief of staff role is not just doing it correctly in the beginning, but also doing it correctly and being leveraged properly so that you can grow within the role and people understand that you actually have, sort of the equivalent standing of the executive. And, again, like I think we need to look at the White House in this particular instance, which is there is no scenario where the chief of staff calls you to a meeting and you say, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I can't be there, right? The chief of staff in the White House is effectively the number two. I understand that the vice president is very important because he or she will take over in the event that the president dies. But outside of going to funerals, you know, the VP doesn't carry the kind of weight and authority that the chief of staff does. And I will never forget this.